Hey guys, welcome back to Kumasawa Reviews. What we're taking a look at is Bandai Tamashii, the latest in their metal build line. It's Eva 01 from Evangelion. So, what you see here is Eva 01 itself, herself, measures to about 8¼ inches tall. That's actually to that horn in the front, so it's about 8 inches on the dot if you just count the tip of the head. But since this isn't removable, I'm going to count that and call it 8¼ inches. Really nice piece. Now these two pieces are removable. Shoulder powders / weapons racks. He also has some pieces that attach to his hips for weapon attachment as well. Pretty cool stuff. And speaking of weapons, accessories, etc., it does come with this base. You see the umbilical cord there. You see a variety of weapons here: swords, knives, guns, shotguns, handguns, all kinds of guns. Gun attachments, a variety of hands, armor pieces as well for shins as well as his feet, and to attach, as well as some sway bars for the weapons rack, as well as the attachment pieces for Eva itself. We'll go over all of this, as it comes. And one more thing you'll have noticed, there's not an intro video or anything like that. Music at the beginning of these reviews. Decided to stop doing that, seeing how that goes for a while. Kind of looked at it and said, I don't know what music playing at the beginning of a video review increases about the quality of a review, especially since you have the title picture there, you have it named in the title, and of course right away you see what the frick it is. So yeah, just less for me to edit, less for me to mess up and mix up and stuff like that. But taking a look at in terms of up and down movement, it is on a swivel, but there's a piece that the instructions actually tell you how to put it back in. But there's a bronze-ish piece right here under the chin. I'll give you a nice close-up of the head there as well. But that goes inside of the neck, so it really limits the side-to-side movement on the neck itself. The mouth does open and close. Right. Just pop that back. These shoulder pieces can move their armor itself. You can see there, they're on ball joints. They pop off way up, but it's pretty high up. I mean, realistically, people and things don't joints on the wrist connector, so he's got that rocking there as well as some swiveling around and whatnot. Now, the abs, they actually move as you see them, so there are multiple levels there of abdominal movement. So right here and right here, so you can see the extent of the back, or at least as far as I'm going to go with it. And then bringing it front, again, it's this piece and this piece that you're looking at. All one piece right here, so don't try to swivel it at the waist or do anything crazy. It's just as immovable as it looks in that area, okay? Now, looking at the hips, front swing, back swing's pretty limited there. I don't know what's blocking it, but that's where it goes. Outward, not much. Double jointed knees. Let's look at the swivel. Okay amount of swivel, but the armor and the layers of molding and stuff like that keep it from really doing a lot, but decent amount. It's more outward than inward that you need, and it definitely has enough outward to give it some dynamic. All right. And ankle tilt. Lots of outward. There we go. Just had to break it in a little bit there. Lots of inside. Front of the foot moves, but then the whole foot moves forward and back. It goes back and forth on a swing joint there, as well as this piece on the heel goes in and out too. All right, so just a little something here. And that piece is on a ball joint, that bronze piece that I showed you guys earlier, so if you want some further head movement, you can just go ahead and remove that. So just a little something there before we get into the accessories. Okay, I'm kind of winging this weapons part because he has a lot of weapons, but there's a lot of variety to him, and there are certain ones to where I'm not going to have him hold every single one. Like, he doesn't need to hold a long sword and a shorter sword, as well as a knife, and then a different knife. You know, you'll kind of get the gist of what he looks like with a blade in his hand. Alright, so let's take out the first one. Okay. Alright, so there are the blades. This is the hand to hold the blades. It kind of has the thumb out like so. So we'll take the... I actually like the mid-size. Get that hand around it. And this is a lot more loose, in my opinion, than a lot of the other metal build weapons in terms of how he holds them, but he still holds them decently enough. So you don't have to worry about him falling out of his hand, but it doesn't have that like really firm grip that I'm used to with this line. Alright, so let's put that in its hand, or her hand. Okay, and we'll take a look at how the holsters work on the back. So you see each of those shoulder holders, they have two. Each of the holsters has little things like this, and they just slide in, like so. Easy enough. But I'm actually going to slide it in reverse. Don't like that. Actually, you know what? I do like the other way better, so I'm reversing it. Make sure that I got that forehead part there. And we will gonna leave the other blades alone. You guys see what they look like. Slipped out. And again, just not as firm. So with the holders on the back of his shoulders, it's honestly not too bad. Getting it all set up in hand. Let's actually go from the side. Alright. Showing off the blades. Alright, and I'm actually going to try some transitional work here. Alright, so take out this sword. Taking off this holster as well. I don't want it that way, so I'm going to reverse it. Pick that piece up there. Now we'll start taking a look at the guns here. Sliding out the handgun. I believe that it actually has a magazine as well. Yep. Slides right in. And I'm just looking for the trigger hand for the right hand. Alright, so there's that. Pop that off. Alright, so you guys can see what I'm doing here, right? Okay. Now, showing you guys how these work. The hip holsters. Alright, so you gotta be kind of careful because this part pops out, but when you have it in hand, it's a really defined movement. See, I just popped it out right there. It's this little slider piece that goes in and out. And you're supposed to be able to just slide it back. And this is one that actually needs one of those little pry pieces or whatever. But you can't. And you see why it popped off, because even without that piece on, I'm not able to get it to slide like it's supposed to. Alright. So now that it's loosened up, let's try that again. Yeah, no. There we go. So maybe that's a trick, popping it out and back first like that, and then doing it. But once you got it, I'm gonna hold on to his foot so I don't knock it over. Dun dun dun. Figure out which side goes. So the pointy side points downwards, and then there's a wide peg that pegs in, like so. Boom. And you can see it has the same peg holes around. So got that back. I'm actually just going to remove the hand. Gotta figure out which way it's supposed to freaking go. Just slide it down. Jeez. Now you've got that holstered. Okay. Now that we can look at his rifle here, her rifle. All right, pop that down. That's the piece that it slides into. This piece is magazine. Unclips too, and there are a variety of things that you could do with this one. So you could slide this piece in for a bayonet. Okay, this piece, the knife itself actually slides out so that he could hold it as a regular knife as well. Slide that back in. You have a grenade launcher as well. Okay. And then there we go. So just to differentiate it, go ahead and keep that piece, because then we can do a holding and then have him grip it with the other hand too. I keep saying him, I'm just so used to pronouns, but it's a her. That there. And boom, there we go. Now we're going to take a look at those armor pieces as well. All right. Feet part come off. That comes off. That goes on. Alright, find the new feet parts. One. Two. And lastly, the shin guards, which are really neat because they're magnetic. Let me get those clipped on. Alright, so there's that. So the goggles, shin guards, and the magnets are actually right in there. Die cast on the legs, feet, shins and feet. Zooming out there, pretty badass. Alright, taking a look at the base here. It's okay for what it's worth. It's just not my favorite, aesthetically or functionally. So, bring the camera up. You can see you can attach the umbilical cord and stuff, and there is movement within the stand. The umbilical cord, regardless of which attachment you use, plugs in right here on the figure. Oh. I just want them to stand a little bit further onto it. But it doesn't really have weight to hold them up. It's not a action or flight stand, which really takes away from its value to me. Because you have this really dynamic figure in terms of look and articulation, but then no like flight base to hold it up on and stuff. I think it's a damn shame, but it's what it is. And I mean, it goes along with the show, the umbilical cord and stuff like that. It's what it is. And you can see you have a ton of places to peg in the weapons and whatnot. That's pretty neat. I just wish they all could attach to it. Unfortunately, they can't. Alright, so getting that unhooked. You can actually remove this and put in this flat piece here. Make sure I'm putting it in the right direction. And he can quote unquote lock, or she, see, keep doing it, into place. Now there are no actual like pegs, friction joints, anything like that that it actually locks into. You just close those around his wrist and try to line these up as best as you can. They don't actually lock, these pieces around the powders. There's that. And see, the way that this thing is set up, try to lean it back. The arms and shoulders kind of work against each other in terms of this lining up, so, I mean, do the best you can. I haven't mastered it, as you can see, but that doesn't mean you can't. Once you got it, it's definitely a good look. I like it a lot better than the other means. And you could still certainly attach the cord if you so choose. And there we go. This has been Bandai Tamashi's Metal Build EVA 01. It looks like they are going to start doing either the 00 or the 02 as well as a reissue of this toy later in the year, so looking forward to that announcement. As for this review, like, share, subscribe, and look on KumaStyle.com. There will be a full breakdown article and gallery soon enough. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate your support. See you next time.